Well, I am Alexandra Bryden. I go by Alex. My pronouns are she, her. And I am a wife to Rob Bryden and a mom to JR and Cole Bryden, both of whom are my Y babies. And our Y story actually started 6 years ago when I was pregnant with our first son. We lived in DC and we knew all the daycares were so competitive, so impacted. So as soon as I found out I got pregnant, I started getting on wait lists. And we started talking to all of our friends to say, where are you sending your kid? Obviously, this was our first baby. It was our prized treasure. We wanted to put them somewhere that was safe and wonderful. And a colleague of my husband's said that their child was at the YMCA in Silver Spring, and they loved it. They thought it was amazing and wonderful. They didn't take kids until they're 18 months. But as soon as they were 18 months, we should send our son there. They did all the activities. It was their second kid. It was just, they had been a Y family forever. So we called the Y. We got on the wait list for September a year and a half later. And we got a nanny in the interim, and we had our son with a nanny share and then transitioned him. We started swimming lessons at the Y at 6 months old and started transitioning JR into kind of the Y environment. And then at 18 months, we started up. We got pregnant with our second. We knew we'd have this kind of glide time. And then COVID hit, right? And then we ended up moving down here to Vienna, Virginia from Silver Spring. Before we were planning on the move, my husband said, "Oh, we need a daycare. Is there Y down there?" So we knew there was a Falls Church Y. I looked it up, Falls Church Y and a Reston Y. So we knew we thought we wanted to be in Vienna. So I called the Y here in Reston, and Miss Melissa answered, and I said, I have a very strange question, but I have 2 children. This is how old they are. I think we're gonna move. What can we be in the Y? Do you have a wait list? How bad is it? And everything was just opening up from COVID, which I will say as a side note, as we went through COVID and passed through, just so much change, so much uncertainty, and having our kids at home, the Y was phenomenal, hooking us up with ABC Mouse, giving us sort of this constant feed of information on what was happening. And I have actually compromised health, and so I was terrified to send our kids back into a daycare environment. So I talked with the Y leadership about what the protocols would be. We waited about a month as we watched families start back up, and then we started JR back at the Y. We kept our youngest home actually because we felt like he wasn't ready for the Y. He wasn't 18 months and we wanted him to be safe. So when I called Miss Melissa, part of the reason that we wanted to stay in the Y system was that we felt so comfortable. And in Silver Spring, JR had done all the sports, Cole had started the swimming. So we knew there was this consistent transition, and we talked about, the curriculum was the same at both Ys. Our youngest would be able to start because the Y here had a program that took care of kids his age. And so we locked it in that, and Miss Melissa said, on a fluke, a family was leaving with 2 children. They happened to be roughly the same age as our kids. So because we were a Y family and we had been a Y family, she would arrange what were the dates, and oh my gosh, they were in sync more or less with when we thought we were gonna move. So we locked it in. We ended up driving down from Silver Spring for a month and a half to bring our babies here to this Y because we knew it was where we would want to be. We started JR up with sports. We started Cole up with sports, and we have been here since. And I will say we chose the Y, but every day the Y chooses us. And I am so grateful to have a safe place for my kids to be on the weekends with Coach Herb, during the weekdays with Coach Herb, during the weekdays doing activities every day. We have never found a daycare or heard about a daycare from our friends where the kids have so many opportunities to get out of the classroom and into extracurricular sports, and it's this seamless transition with the same staff, the same team. Our kids instantly, as soon as they were here, they picked up right where JR picked up in the middle of the curriculum, right where he'd left off. He knew exactly what was up. He knew how to navigate the classroom. The move was really easy for him. Cole, we were terrified if he would like it or not, because he had not been in a formal daycare environment. And he started thriving, he started growing, he started to talk to us in Spanish, which sort of blew our minds. And they are thrilled to be here. Every opportunity for programming that the Y has for my kids, it is the first place we go every time. We love it. We are the happiest Y family, and so grateful for this family to have taken us in as we moved and taken our kids, our most prized treasures, and treated them as we would treat them, better than we would treat them, and just been such a wonderful, warm sort of hug every day for all of us. So that, I think, is our Y story, and hopefully that resonates with other families, but we've loved it and we're so grateful. Thank you, Y.
Thank you.